Chapter 2 of the Nibelungenlied. This is a Librvox recording. All Librvox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit librvox.org. Recording by Elizabeth Klett. The Nibelungenlied. Translated by Daniel B. Shumway. Chapter 2 of Siegfried. In the Netherlands there grew the child of a noble king. His father had for name Siegmund, his mother Sigelind, in a mighty castle, known far and wide in the lowlands of the Rhine. Xanten men called it. Of this hero I sing, how fair he grew. Free he was of every blemish, strong and famous he later became, this valiant man. Oh, what great worship he won in this world! Siegfried hight this good and doughty knight. Full many kingdoms did he put to the test through his warlike mood. Through the strength of body he rode into many lands. Ho! what bold warriors he after found in the Burgundian land! Mickle wonders might one tell of Siegfried in his prime, in youthful days, what honours he received, and how fair of body he. The most stately women held him in their love, with the zeal which was his due men trained him. But of himself what virtues he attained! Truly his father's lands were honoured, that he was found in all things of such right lordly mind. Now was he become of the age that he might ride to court. Gladly the people saw him, many a maid wished that his desire might ever bear him hither. Enow gazed on him with favour. Of this the prince was well aware. Full seldom was the youth allowed to ride without a guard of knights. Siegmund and Sigelind bade deck him out in brave attire. The older knights who were acquaint with courtly custom had him in their care. Well therefore might he win both folk and land. Now he was of the strength that he bare weapons well. Whatever he needed thereto, of this he had enow. With purpose he began to woo fair ladies. These bold Siegfried courted well in proper wise. Then bade Siegmund have cried to all his men that he would hold a feasting with his loving kindred. The tidings thereof men brought into the lands of other kings. To the strangers and the home folk he gave steeds and armour. Wheresoever any was found who, because of his birth, should become a knight, these noble youths were summoned to the land for the feasting. Here with the youthful prince they gained the knightly sword. Wonders might one tell of this great feast. Siegmund and Sigelind wist well how to gain great worship with their gifts, of which their hands dealt out great store. Wherefore one beheld many strangers riding to their realm. 400 sword thanes were put on knightly garb with Siegfried. Many a fair maid was aught but idle with the work, for he was beloved of them all. Many precious stones the ladies inlaid on the gold, which together with the edging they would work upon the dress of the proud young warriors, for all this must needs be done. The host bade make benches for the many valiant men, for the midsummer festival, at which Siegfried should gain the name of knight. Then full many a noble knight and many a high-born squire did hie them to the minster. Right were the elders in that they served the young, as had been done to them afore. Pastimes they had and hope of much good cheer. To the honour of God a mass was sung. Then there arose from the people full great a press, as the youths were made knights in courtly wise, with such great honours as might not ever lightly be again. Then they ran to where they found saddled many a steed. In Siegmund's court the hurtling waxed so fierce that both palace and hall were heard to ring. The high-mettled warriors clashed with mighty sound. From young and old one heard many a shock, so that the splintering of the shafts re-echoed to the clouds. Truncheons were seen flying out before the palace from the hand of many a knight. This was done with zeal. At length the host bade cease the tourney, and the steeds were led away. Upon the turf one saw all to shivered many a mighty buckler and great store of precious stones from the bright spangles of the shields. Through the hurtling this did hap. Then the guests of the host betook them to where men bade them sit. With good cheer they refreshed them, and with the very best of wine, of which one bare frill plenty. To the strangers and the home folk was shown worship enow. Though much pastime they had throughout the day, many of the strolling folk forswear all rest. They served for the largess, which men found there richly, whereby Sigmund's whole land was decked with praise. Then bade the king enfeoff Siegfried, the youth, with land and castles, as he himself had done. Much his hand bestowed upon the sword companions. The journey liked them well, that to this land they were come. The feasting lasted until the 7th day. Siegelind, the noble queen, for the love of her son, dealt out ruddy gold in time-honoured wise. Full well she wot how to make him beloved of the folk. Scarce could a poor man be found among the strolling mimes. Steeds and raiment were scattered by their hand, as if they were to live not one more day. I trow that never did serving folk use such great bounty. With worshipful honours the company departed thence. Of the mighty barons the tale doth tell that they desired the youth unto their lord, but of this the stately knight, Sir Siegfried, listed not. Forasmuch as both Siegmund and Siegelind were still alive, the dear child of them twain wished not to wear a crown, but fain would he become a lord against all the deeds of force within his lands, whereof the bold and daring knight was sore adread. End of chapter 2.